Hello guys! Today we're going to learn how to start and get involved with SOLIDWORKS. So this video is for complete beginners, so if you've never used SOLIDWORKS or you've never even used a CAD software, this video is for you. So I'm on the SOLIDWORKS 2023 version. There are versions from, I believe, ranging from 2020 to 2024. I chose 2023 because I just like the software and the utilities that it offers, and 2024 I personally don't like, but you adjust it to whatever you want. So let's get started. First of all, how do you open a new file? So over here we see this icon. So we're gonna go click on this and we're gonna start with part. So there are three different options you see: part, assembly, and drawing. Assembly and drawing are something that is a little bit more advanced, and if you want to learn about that, I'm gonna have some more videos on my channel about it, but let's start with the part. So we're gonna click OK and wait for it to load. So just something to note, the newer versions of SOLIDWORKS cannot be opened with the older versions of the software. So for example, if somebody sends you a part from 2024 SOLIDWORKS, you cannot open it with 2023 version, unfortunately. You would have to upgrade your software. So this is just something that I found out when I started working with SOLIDWORKS, so I thought it would be useful. Okay, so we opened this floor. So we have just this blank screen. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna choose a plane. So let's wait for it to load. All right, so we have this plane. So let's say we want to do our top plane, or we have a right plane and we have also a front plane. That's gonna look like this. Okay, so let's say we want to start with our top plane. Doesn't really matter. When you click on it and you start actually drawing, it's not gonna matter which plane is which, but this is just for selection. So before we start, let's get our units correctly. So this is the IPS units. I want the millimeter gram per second, and as you can see, you have meter kilogram second, centimeters gram second, and as I mentioned, IPS. All right, so let's start. We're gonna click once again on our plane. If only it would work. Okay, we're gonna click once again on our plane and we're gonna start with a simple sketch. So let's try to draw a rectangle. So over here on the top, you see that we can draw a line, a circle, a spline, so any shape you want. So let's start with a rectangle. We're gonna start, let's say over here, and we're gonna draw this rectangle. Now, if I want to change my dimensions of the rectangle, I'm gonna click Smart Dimensions over here on top. Click on the line that I want measured. So let's say I want this line to be measured, and I bring up my cursor and it's going to show me how long this side actually is. So I'm going to click on it, and now I'm going to have this field appear in front of me, and you can enter whatever value you want. Let's say we want it to be 120 millimeters. 120, enter. Now this one is 120, and because we drew a rectangle, the bottom line is also going to be 120, as you can see. Okay. So now let's say I also want to change my side and I want it to be 55. Alright, click enter, and now I've got this rectangle. Click this green check mark. So now that we have a sketch, don't forget to exit the sketch. So I've made this mistake a lot when I started out. I wouldn't exit the sketch and I would go straight into features or markup. And as you will see, when you go into features and you don't exit out of sketch, you don't actually get as many options on the top. You can't really do many things. So like, see how all of this is grayed out? That's because you haven't exited sketch. So first we're going to click sketch, exit sketch. All right, and now we just get this outline. And now let's say I want to make this outline into a 3D object. I'm going to click extrude boss base and select this. Alright, so I just clicked on any contour on the shape, and SOLIDWORKS automatically knows what I want it to do. And here you can see the preview of what our object is going to look like. So now let's look on the left. So first of all, we have the direction of our extrusion. We can do blind, which means that, let's say you want the thickness of the object to be, I don't know, 10, 15 millimeters, all right? Well, it was already, yeah. So for blind, you can just enter the value for the thickness that you want. We can do up to vertex. So if we had another object over here on top, we could click on that object and then it would extrude up to that vertex or up to that surface if it's flat, or up to the body. All of these are basically the same thing. You can just play around and see which one fits. Mid-plane is also a useful one. So as you can see, instead of going up from the actual plane, now our object shifted, so it's going up from both sides of the plane. So it can go up 5 and down 5. All right? Yeah, and you can see the little ruler here. Oops. Yeah, you can play around if you want. You can bring it up or down, just like this. Okay. I usually like to use the blind one, just my preference, but it doesn't matter. You can use whichever one you want, whichever one fits your needs. Then, let's say if you're using blind, you also have the option to put a second direction in here. So here you can just choose also second direction and create the extrusion from the second side. Okay, so this is also just a very useful feature. So after we've gotten our desired object, we click the green check mark, and now we have our solid object. If I don't want this plane showing, let's say I want to take a picture of this or anything else, I'm just going to click on this little eye. We're going to see what it entails. So the eye is going to show you all the planes, all the sketches, axes, and just all of the little draft sketches you're going to make. If you want to take a picture of the final product or you just want it to look prettier, you're just going to click on this eye. Alright. Click out, and now it's going to hide everything, right? So if you had any sketches, planes, it's going to hide all of it. If you want to see them again, no problem. You just click on the eye, and you're going to start seeing them again. Yeah. And here you can also adjust that. Yeah, see, you can view planes or not view planes. Okay, good. So now let's make one more object. So let's say now I want to make a revolve. What does a revolve mean? Revolve means that you create some kind of a sketch and then you revolve it around an axis. So let's say I want to make a cylinder, right? I can't make a cylinder out of a rectangle, so I need it to be revolved around an axis. How do you actually do that? Revolve is a little more challenging because you have to kind of envision the part as a half before you actually revolve it. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let's say I want to start with a front plane, and you can draw on the same plane that you've drawn your previous object on, it doesn't matter. We can also extend this plane if it's more comfortable for you, but it's not necessary. Yeah. So we're going to create a revolve boss base. So again, we're going to click sketch, and first of all, we're going to create a rectangle again. So let's say I want a vertical rectangle now, something like this. I'm going to exit sketch. Alright, I'm going to select this sketch, go into features, and then revolved boss base. Click revolve. And now, over here, I can select which axis I want it to be rotated about. So SOLIDWORKS will choose for you automatically what it thinks you want it to be rotated about, but just in case, let's say it chose the wrong thing, it can be rotated against this, and then it's going to look like a wheel. This object can also be rotated around this, and this is going to be a cylinder. See what I mean? So now you can also rotate this 360 degrees over here, or you can rotate it, I don't know, let's say to 170. Alright, as you can see over here, now we have a cutout. And the objects don't have to be completely joined, so you can have this cut here, you can create any kind of shapes that you want. Oops. Alright. accidentally entered some character. Let's put it back to 360 for now. Merge result. So this usually means that your object is going to be treated as a whole. This is going to be more important later on when you start getting into assemblies. But for now, just always click merge result. And if you want to see some other videos where you don't have to use it, then just stick around my channel. Okay, and as always, we can also do direction 2. For this, we don't have a direction 2 because it's just a whole cylinder that goes 360 degrees. But in some options, you can have a 360. You can also click this button over here to reverse the direction of the rotation. So as you can see with this arrow, the rotation is going this way. But let's say I want it to go the other way for whatever reason. I'm going to click on this and reverse the direction. Yeah, also sometimes SOLIDWORKS is not very cooperative. Yeah, basically it's just going to do this. Obviously in this case it doesn't change anything, but just useful to know. Okay. Alright, so we're going to click OK. And now we've got our cylinder. Alright. So yeah. And this is our first video so far. So I think this is enough just to get you started. Stick around, watch some more of my videos. I have some more complicated tutorials and I have some more simple tutorials for if you're intermediate or beginner, both work. So now how do I actually save this beautiful thing? So I'm going to click here and you can either save or save as. For our purposes, we're just going to click save. Alright, and it automatically opens up a window. Let's say I call it part 2. I think I have a part 1 in here. Just save it wherever you want. And now you have a saved document. Now don't forget to save it because once you exit out of the program is not going to save what you have. Now in terms of the save as, you can also use this option, and here you can choose, you can either save it as a copy and continue, which means that the program basically saves this file as a copy. So now you get 2 files. You get the original version, you get the version that you're going to edit. And that means you're going to edit the current version, okay? Now, save as a copy as open is basically the same thing, but you save the file as it is right now, and then the program opens up a new file where you can keep editing the same design without distorting the old one because you already have the old file. Hopefully that made sense. I will make some more videos about this just in case. Yeah, so now you're pretty much done and you can exit out. Thank you.